Hey guys, John Crump here, coming to you from an undisclosed location. Can't really say much more about that, but let's go ahead and talk about a few things here. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist, and I am coming to you from an undisclosed location that I really can't talk about. But I can talk about a few different things, and I'm going to give you 3 stories today. Yes, 3. I am really bringing the heat today. And this video is not going to be very edited because it's done on my phone, so I'm going to try to do it in one shot if possible. If not, then I'm going to have to learn some type of on-the-fly editing program that's on my phone. Okay, so this is what is going on. We're going to talk about Michigan, Canada, and Oregon. Today in Oregon, we're going to do this in reverse order. Today in Oregon, GOA is challenging the Oregon state law and state court. Most other gun rights organization is taking on Oregon in federal court, but GOA decided to try something new and go in state court because there's less of a backlog and they'll be able to get a hearing faster, and it looks like they have. In fact, today they're going to be arguing for their TRO and preliminary injunction. Oregon passed a bunch of draconian laws that I did a video on Sunday that you can go check that out, where they have a permit to purchase system, which is already convoluted, but they added a training mechanism to it. They have to get training and pay a fee and get fingerprinted and mugshots, and there's a magazine limitation and everything, and GOA is challenging that on state grounds. They are not challenging it on a violation of the Constitution. They are challenging it on a challenge to the Oregon Constitution. They're saying that Oregon is violating their own Constitution. So that is really interesting, but the hearing is today. So in the next coming days, I don't expect we'll hear anything today, but in the next coming days, we should hear something if GOA got their TRO or if they got a preliminary injunction. Oregon has asked the courts to delay the implementation of the permit to purchase rule because right now there's no training that satisfies the permit to purchase rule, which is supposed to go in effect on December 8th. The thing is, if it did go on if it did go into effect on December 8th, no one would be able to buy a firearm because the training for that does not yet exist. So that's one of the things that GOA is arguing, that you can't really do that because there is an analog in the Oregon Constitution for the Second Amendment, and this would definitely violate that if you strip the people of a means to acquire a firearm, since they do have universal background checks. So that is what's going on with Oregon. Let's go ahead and jump over to Michigan. There is a possible magazine limitation bill coming up in Michigan, and not only that, but they are also talking about a semi-auto ban, which they call it an assault weapons ban. But make no mistake, it's all about banning semi-automatic firearms, and that's their first step. They want to ban semi-automatic firearms, then they're going to move to lever action. Say, hey, lever action is just as fast as a semi-automatic firearm. Then once they got that, then they're going to move to rifles, bolt action rifles. And then they're going to want everyone just to have muskets and all that other good stuff. The way the left works is by, and I do say left because most anti-gunners are left wing, is by eroding the rights of the people little by little. It's not a death by cutting your head off. It's a death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's the chipping away of your rights. they take a little by little until you have no rights left. There's a old saying about a frog doesn't know it's boiling if you heat the water up slowly, but that's what they are hoping. They are stripping people of their rights little by little, paper cut, paper cut, paper cut, and they are hoping that you do not notice. But if you're watching this channel, you are noticing, and you can do something. I know a lot of people say calling the politicians does not make a difference, but I definitely think it does. I think it does more than most people think it does, but it does. I talked to a bunch of political operatives in the last couple days, like a lot, and they assure me that phone calls and emails do that. In fact, let's go back to Mansion Toomey, which was the universal background check bill that had a great chance of passing. And what stopped that from passing is groups like GOA, mostly GOA in this case. Hey, I'm a GOA guy, so you know me. But GOA members flooded the congressional offices with calls saying back off, back off, back off. And they also flooded other gun groups with those calls, which calls them to back off. And due to that pressure, and it was GOA pressure, I've been assured that by people in Congress now, they backed off the bill. So anyone that says it does not matter, they just don't know what the hell they're talking about, because it absolutely does matter. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the final story. And this is your third story of the day. And tomorrow I'll be back in my studio because I'm leaving where I am early to get back home. But your third story of the day is in Canada. There is a famous Canadian goalie, one of the best goalies that ever lived. He was the hero of Montreal, Carey Price. And Carey Price is now campaigning against Justin Trudeau's draconian gun laws where he bans like every gun. Justin Trudeau is not taking too happily to this and is pushing back against Carey Price. But this just goes to show there are some people up north in the Great White North, the America hat, as some people call it, Canada, that are willing to talk to their people about resisting tyranny. And you just have to salute Carey Price for doing that. Alright guys, that is it. I'll be back in my regular studio tomorrow, but I just wanted to give you a video. And since I didn't make a video yesterday, I decided to give you 3 stories today. Alright guys, I love you very much. Stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keeping the fight. I am out of here. Wolverines, you know the rest.